Hello, welcome to Class this month, Studio Remix. So we're exploring the mat exercises on all the equipment this month, and on the mat we'll explore all the equipment on the mat. But there's a lot of mat work here on our reformer. So we'll be using a reformer order as a framework, but we'll be inserting mat exercises where they're appropriate. So some things won't be the thing on the reformer that you do. They'll be the mat exercise instead. So we are going to do footwork with some springs, but we're going to just interplace it with some footwork out springs. So 3 to 4 heavy springs on, and lying on your back. Heels together, toes apart, balls of the feet on the foot bar. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Let your whole body take up space on the mat, on the carriage, which is our mat today, and go out and in 10 times. Just notice how the foot bar changes the feeling of your legs going in and out, right? We already know from coordination and other mat exercises that when we don't have the foot bar, it doesn't always feel this way. So can we memorize what muscles are turning on here? And let's do one more together. Come all the way in. You can just slide your hands underneath your hips, lift your head and chest up, and send your legs out and in. Out and in 6 times. Shoulders are still wide. What muscles do you have to work to get these legs to feel like they're pushing a foot bar with 3 to 4 heavy springs away? And then come in, land onto your arches. Let your arms take up more space, and out and in. So 10 arches. And yes, you guessed it, we're going to do it without the foot bar because we can, right? We don't need another reason other than because we can. A few more, really pulling the carriage all the way in, not just stopping when it feels like the spring's closed, but making sure they did. And then knees in, head and chest up, flex ankles, curl the toes, send the legs out and in 6 times. And you can get really deep flexion here. So do that. Pull those knees in as much as you can. We're all going to look a little different. It's going to feel a little different, but you do the best. You are actually going at your pace, your range of motion. Land your heels onto the foot bar, flex the ankles, and push it out and pull it in. 5 more. It's tempting to look at your feet, but can you look at the ceiling instead? And then head and chest up, reach the legs out and in. 6 of these, reaching those heels forward, squeezing the legs tight together. And then stay out here and point and flex. So turn out and point and flex, and point and flex. Ooh. Place the balls of the feet onto the foot bar, look back at your ceiling, and then reach the heels under and up. Feels a little different, doesn't it? Can we get more muscles turning on? Arms taking up space on the carriage, shoulders taking up space, inner thighs controlling those heels, and then come all the way in. Okay, now lift your head and chest up. I'm not going to make you do 100 without your straps. It is nice to have the handles here, so we're going to use them. And I want you just to compare yourself to yourself. How does 100 feel here with the straps and without? So lift your head and chest up, and then pump your arms. Inhale and exhale. Toes the level, the eyes are higher. One more cycle of breathing here. And then lower the head and chest, legs, hook up your handles, and then because just in case you don't take the mat class this month, I know how some people can be, it's tempting to just skip it. Lift your head and chest up and do 5 cycles of breathing here. Can you take what you found with your straps and your springs One more. Lower the legs, flex the ankles, lift the arms up. Take some space between your shoulders and your shoulder rest, and then lift your head and chest up for a roll up. And maybe you just curl the head and chest up a little bit, and maybe you come all the way up, right? Pulse 1, 2, 3, and then roll it all the way down. And if you got stuck on your shoulder blocks, but you weren't touching them on the way up, it's a sign that you slid around on your carriage. So we try, maybe you don't come all the way up and over as much. And pulse 1, 2, 3, pull the waist back, squeeze the legs together. And again, up and over yourself. Pulse 1 and 2 and 3, and pull the waist back. Last one, up and over, and pulse 1 and 2 and 3 and down. Okay, take the headrest down. You can keep the straps, the springs the way they are. I'm going to do roll over here instead of overhead. You can do anything we've already done or whatever your body is requesting if you're not going overhead. So what you'll do is you'll hold underneath the carriage. All right, that's really nice to do. So elbows will be up, shoulders are wide, and then you take the legs over, flex the ankles, open the legs, point the feet, roll the spine down, and your upper body and head should stay down. Circle the legs together. Take the legs over, flex, open, point, and then roll it down. Circle together. Take it over, flex, open, roll it down, point, reverse. So pointed feet go over. And then what's nice is I kind of have my elbows here to make sure my legs don't just fall on top of me. So take the legs over the point. And so they can go as low as you aren't falling. So if you're letting the legs collapse on you, it's going to feel like a lot of weight on your shoulders. It's not super fun. Okay, now curl up and go to 2 springs, single leg circles, put your foot bar up. And for this, you'll want your headrest back up, okay? So then you'll have your heels together, toes apart, ball of the foot on the foot bar, press out. You're on 2 springs, so don't go too crazy. Take one leg up. As the leg comes across the body and circles down, lower the heel of the foot that's on the foot bar. 5 circles in each direction here. And then reverse. Really hugging that outer hip in. And then bring the foot down. I like to come in, bend my knees, reset my feet, and then you'll press out and lift the other leg up. And again, across, around and up. Lower the heel and lift. Lower the heel and lift. You're lifting the heel and lifting your leg, reverse. Open, down, around, and up. Open, down, around, and up. Few more. And then place the foot down on the foot bar. Bend everything in. Rolling like a ball. Yep. So do 2 springs on. You can put more on if you want, but at least 2. And then heels together, toes apart. I know it feels a little weird. Maybe you just balance, and that's fine. It's plenty fun. You can even balance with your elbows on your knees and just squeeze them together. Squeeze to turn everything on. But if you want to walk on the wild side, we rock back and we come up. So you have to be at the edge. If you scoot back, you're going to hit your shoulder rest. So you got to be at the edge. You rock back, lift the hips, and come up. If you and the carriage are moving together to go back and together to come up, you're doing great. If when you go back and then you come up, the carriage closes before you're up, that's a sign you're using a little bit too much momentum. Last time. Woo! All right. Wonderful. So let's stay on 2 springs. Grab your handles, little ab series action here. So I've done in past classes where you just do your ab series on the carriage, no straps. You're more than welcome to do that. This is kind of nice though because we have the springs to attach our arms to our back. So lift your head and chest up, 1 knee in, 1 leg out, and switch. And switch. How far can you pull your knee in on your own? How far can you pull your knee in on your own? Can you pull it in a little bit more? And even a little bit more. And even a little bit more. One more time. and then bring both heels